All right, let's talk about Christopher Nolan and Netflix. What? That's right. I mean, going back to Warner Brothers, I mean, what's going on over there? They got to be hearing this news and being like, wait a minute, they're trying to take Nolan away from us? What? But yes, now, again, this goes back to that Variety article talking to Mr. Stuber. And let's see, yeah. Let's see, I got the article right here, of course, and pretty much got it. I got it where he talks about Christopher Nolan. But can you imagine? If they got Christopher Nolan? Oh my God. So it says right here, after talking about they're going to be working with Steven Spielberg, by the way. It says the deal with Amblin gives Stuber hope that he might be able to lure Christopher Nolan, an outspoken advocate for the big screen experience, to Netflix, particularly now that Nolan has soured on Warner Brothers over the studio's decision to send the entire 2021 film slate to HBO Max. The pair have had ongoing conversations. And this is what he has to say right here. If and when he comes up with his new movie, it's about, can we be a home for it, and what would we need to do to make it happen, says Stuber. He's an incredible filmmaker. I'm going to do everything I can. In this business, I've learned you need to have zero ego. I get punched and knocked down and get back up. Well, there you go. I get knocked down, but I get up again. So there you go. So yeah, a lot of people were like, kind of freaking out about it, but I mean, just ongoing conversations. That's a good thing. And like I said, it would just be another L for Warner Brothers, Even though when it came to the whole thing, when it came to HBO Max and the dual release kind of thing, I was kind of going, well, what else are you going to do when things are happening right now? And it made sense. It still, to me, made sense when it comes to people still not trusting going to movie theaters and whatnot. People are still scared. It's just the way it is. So, there was a part of me that disagreed with how Nolan approach that. And the fact of the matter is like Tenet probably would have been, I don't know what they would have did if they would have just kept postponing Tenet. And we were kind of hoping that maybe Christopher Nolan was going to be the savior of movie theaters, but I don't know. But now we got Netflix that are going to, they're going to be really trying. They're going to go for it. Like when he has his new movie ready, they're just going to go for it and see what happens. But the fact of the matter is, if they do this, they're going to have limited release movie, like theatrical releases. I don't think Nolan is going to be just okay with just 100% on Netflix. They're going to have to do something. And obviously, when Scorsese came in with The Irishman, they had like, a week or something like that, or was it 2 weeks? I'm not sure. And then, of course, with I don't think they're going to, when it came to Army of the Dead, I got to see it in the theater. So they did it with Zach. They got Zach, they got Spielberg, they got Scorsese. It's just crazy how Netflix is getting these heavy hitter directors, man. It is pretty awesome. You see that all the time. Like Netflix is they're really just showing how it's done, I guess you could say, and getting all these heavy hitters. But at the same time, they got to come up with some kind of plan where they can release in movie theaters. It's possible. Obviously, we've seen it. So they're probably working out some kind of plan, some kind of pitch when it comes to Christopher Nolan. We all know, like anytime Christopher Nolan goes, hey, I have my new movie ready, let's do it. Before we had any idea about Tenet, I remember that was huge news. It was absolutely huge news that Christopher Nolan he's got an untitled movie that he's going to release into like a year and a half or something like that. And everybody freaked out about it because it's Christopher Nolan. Pretty awesome. But of course, mixed reviews when it came to Tenet. That did happen. So, and then of course the way that he was responding to all this, he might want to get back on people's good graces. I don't know. There's that whole aspect of it too. But then Christopher Nolan's going to do whatever Christopher Nolan wants to do. That's the thing. That's the deal. Obviously, now, yeah. Matt Reeves has first look deal with Netflix too. So there you go. It's just funny how like Netflix is really just killing it when it comes to approaching these directors and just give them that first look deal and just like, hey, you have all the freedom you want. Do whatever the hell you want. How much money you need? Well, here you go. So I guess we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because I always found it weird too. Like when Tenet when they were doing the marketing stuff, They were releasing trailers on Fortnite. Like, what? That was weird. Like, people were in the Fortnite world and watching it on a screen in Fortnite. And I'm just kind of going, okay, is Nolan embracing digital, embracing this kind of new world that this all is going in? I always found that kind of interesting. Or was that a studio thing? I don't know. It's all very interesting. But I don't know. Freedom. Yeah. Tenet showed Nolan weakness. Yeah. Well, I still like Tenet. Yeah, I do still like Tenet. You just got to watch it with subtitles. And if you live in an apartment complex, turn it down.